Welcome back, everybody, here to your coverage of the D2CL. I'm hosting your English live stream tonight. I'm Toby1, coming to you from the Joy Dota Studios here in Germany. Let's get ourselves into the game. Team Empire versus Na'Vi already underway, with Team Empire claiming game number 1 victory for their own, and we're looking to do the same thing here in game number 2. The man who was with me through the first game as well is back for the second. Clairvoyance, welcome, welcome.
Welcome to me, welcome to you. Thanks for having me as always.
It's good to have you here. It's good to have you here.
Toby, this Empire team, they're really good, dude. That Yoki guy, you see that guy sitting in the pink slot? That boy a beast.
I swear you have a man crush.
I do. Like, I'm not even hiding it. Seriously, I'm not gonna lie. How do I say, like, I'm a Korean. I'm not particularly fond of Koreans because I don't understand them that well because I immigrated at such a young age. So it's never really been a thing for me to be like patriotic or anything. But this guy though, he make his country proud. You know, I mean, the CIS scene. You can try to claim him all you want, but that last name Kim, you're never gonna change that.
I really don't know where to go with that, man.
Got him. Oh dear, that boy a beast, man. He picking up the Earthshaker and Shadow Fiend. You know, the ES, one of the best protective supports, defensive supports to camp Shadow Fiend at mid, so he doesn't always get in harm's way to a gank or gets caught out in silly methods, camping runes or trying to check runes for himself. Is a hero that can stack for him as well in the jungle, and in the dire jungle you have the big camp accessible to you, so you can always stack that up and just triple race it down when you're confident enough. Na'Vi going for the standard, what they're aware of, what they understand, of course, banning out the Magnus this time. And I'm not sure if Empire actually play Wisp, but they banned it anyway.
Empire play around with the Wisp Tiny combination. They in fact picked it up in the first two, just in their game last night, actually.
Oh, right. Sorry. I just had a memory lapse there for a second, but yeah, I think most teams in the competitive scene right now, they have to watch out for this hero. The Wisp Tiny combo is extremely powerful, and there's almost little to no counters, I would say, you know, if you play it properly. But the Troll Warlord being picked up, that hero, I sincerely vastly underestimated the potential of that hero. Like I thought it was the same hero as it was in the previous patch, but that hero, I don't know how it. Honestly, I don't really know how it changed. All they did was fix the fervor. They even nerfed some stuff here and there, I felt, but
they nerfed Whirling Axes. Because remember when Troll first came in, and it was all about the huge amount of damage the Troll Warlord could do, so he could solo everybody. The miss percentage chance was crazy. The damage was really damn good, and you never felt like you could fight him. And now everyone's kind of playing that RNG thing with the melee axes. Obviously, it's not 100%, but I don't think you really care, because you know you've got great chase potential. You got potential when melee heroes try and fight you directly as well. And then of course you're able to I think it's more also the team part of it, where the battle trance is able to prep snipers, heroes like Sniper. And I'm actually surprised too, or not really surprised, because Team Empire ran, I believe, almost the exact same thing, where they ran a core Troll Warlord and put resolution onto the Templar Assassin. And then the damage output that came from these two, it was so early they could just go in for Roshan, because they had the Helm of the Dominator as well on the Troll. So they just walked into the pit and took everything. It was crazy. I just think Troll's the all-round hero that's impossible to really properly lock down without heavy commitment. And if you're heavy committing to kill off your mid-solo, then every other lane has an advantage.
Yeah, well, I actually think it's the transition. I think it's multiple things. Among the ones that you mentioned, I think it's the transition from mid to the safe lane. I think safe lane Troll is actually one of the best safe lane carries in the game right now. And I think also the changes to Scotty, like they buffed the crap out of Scotty to the point where it's just a tier 1 item. You want it almost on every carry hero at this point. It's just so darn good. It makes it impossible to manfight because it slows not only movement speed but attack speed. But going back to the slow and the movement speed, it makes chasing all the more possible, and pretty much depending on the hero, they get kited forever due to the Scotty itself. It's just such a great all-around item. It gives you armor, it gives you HP, it gives you everything you want, all the stats in the game, and raw life points, raw mana points. Again, the slow, it's just so good. Such a strong item, and again, very powerful hero. That mischance it makes it impossible to fight this carry hero without a BKB. And that's sort of Troll's weak point too, is that even when he has BKB, there are heroes that can kite him, especially like Ghost Scepters or massive burst damages that can just drop his life points to an extent, because he doesn't really want to build Satanic, he just wants a casual Dominator.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know, it's just a very interesting change because it's not something that I saw coming. And here it is now, paired up with the Morphling this time. So Morphling's probably going to helm again, another hero that can go mid, but certainly not as strong. And it can work against the Shadow Fiend, but I'm not sure how much it works against the Shadow Fiend and Earthshaker.
You at least know you'll be able to get yourself away in time, unless you've really pumped a crap ton of yourself into agility. Then the Earthshaker Fissure time may be enough with some high-level raises, be it level 3 and up, I think, to kill off that Morphling.
Well, yeah, what I'm thinking too is, even though if you have like decent agility, decent strength kind of thing, Shadow Fiend's so good at harassing from a range, and Morphling's just one of those heroes that if you're even against an SF, you might be able to kill him with a jump. But again, if you think about the Earthshaker turn potential, what you can really go for is either like a dueling with a Lich at mid or something, or just put the Morphling on the safe lane, Troll at mid. But this Bristleback pick though, I think, you know, you being casting so many games, I think you've probably seen Bristleback Dazzle in the offlane a couple times by now.
Yes.
It's one of the strongest. Yeah, it's one of the strongest dueling combos in this patch because Bristleback just wants to sustain and keep the fight as long as possible, so he can just get the stacks on his Bristleback and stack up the Quill Spray.
I'm also going to throw you another curveball here, man. I don't know if you saw the game yesterday, talking about offlanes, but yeah, Bristleback and Dazzle, great combination, which Team Empire have run. But they also ran the Morphling as an offlaner in the hands of Yoki yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
They ran it twice. They did it in one of their D2CL games, and they also did it, I believe, I think it was the Star Ladder game, or it was the MLG Pro League game, maybe. No, it's the MLG Pro League game they also did it in.
So, I didn't watch those games personally, but I think I did see the picks, and I'm sure if you've seen the game, chances are they probably just did that, I don't want to call it stupid Morphling, because it's probably going to become a thing, but they probably did that Morphling that just goes strength, applies a 4-second stun every 10 seconds with the Adaptive Strike, which is what it does with your higher strength. And walking around with the Yule Scepter, probably Soul Ring Tranquils, just spamming out heroes, clearing waves, and using his nuke, being there tanky, maybe a Blade Mail, and just being all around annoying. And honestly, it's suitable for a 3 position. I would say the biggest downside is that his laning phase is so inferior to every other offlaner that you might just end up costing yourselves the game because you have a very disabled offlane position.
Yep.
But if you can survive that laning phase, this hero, I mean, again, 4-second stun, who doesn't want that?
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Just before we finish up our draft, just want to let everyone know what's going on right now. If you haven't seen, we've got multiple live streams coming out tonight. Shiva is the one doing the Join Dota MLG live stream this evening, so if you want to go check that out, please do so. You can find the link over on joindota.com, and we have 2 Twitch live streams going out tonight as well on Join Dota. So Cap's doing the ESL game. Spoiler alert, close your ears right now if you don't want another result to Alliance versus Flipside, but Alliance have actually gotten through to the next round as well, so they're 2-0. There's a long road to go, but they did get through. And Tinker, the remaining players plus some new ones are going into that up against Elysium. So that's that game is starting up now as well. So if someone wants to share the Twitch multi-view streams, if you want to do that, you can follow both the ESL as well as the D2CL right on the Join Dota channels. And of course, we're streaming here our second game of the night. But we have another series coming your way with Na'Vi going up against Hellraisers as well. So a double Na'Vi tonight, and we get a pudge.
Oh my goodness!
But we get a pudge on the non-Dendy team. We get a pudge over on Team Empire.
See, this is what Yoki does. This is just Yoki things right here. This guy. Oh, I'm so happy this guy's alive, dude. I hope he carries them to TI. I hope he carries his team to TI.
My question for you is now, is this a Silent Bristle and a Yoki pudge?
Yeah, most likely. I think it's gonna be. Go on.
Because I do know that Resolution has played a lot of pudge as well, but I would highly doubt that you'd see Yoki going on to someone like the Shadow Fiend, so they'd have to switch around a little bit more. But yeah, it looks like it's actually going to be Resolution SF, Silent Bristleback, Yoki onto the pudge, and then they run the Dazzle as well as the Earthshaker. So you run still an offlane pudge with a supporting Dazzle with a Bristle and an Earthshaker on top, or a roaming Earthshaker? Funny thing is, too, Navi's taking the leaf out of Empire's book. They're running the offlane Morphling.
Yep.
He actually, I would prefer to see them change it up, though. Run the Morphling on the safe lane, put the Troll to the offlane, and then let Lina and Shadow Demon roam themselves across the map. Sorry, it's Lina in the mid, so we've actually got, let Rubik and Shadow Demon roam themselves across the map, and set up for Lina and for those mid kills.
10 seconds.
Yeah, Lina's one of those, I mean, it started making waves in matchmaking.
5 seconds remaining.
These higher MMR players just started spamming it up mid, and the damage potential on that hero now, ever since I wouldn't call it a rework, it's more of a tweak than a buff, because it does take away some mana cost, but they buffed both Dragon Slave as well as Light Strike Array to do more damage in the early levels. I think that at level 2, if you have both spells, you can do 230 magic damage, which is crazy. And the other big thing is the Dragon Slave at level 4, you knock out the range creep with 1 burst nuke. And so basically you clear out the creep wave much faster than before, or with less mana investment, because you're not casting both spells. Most of the time you're just going to cast one and attack the rest with Fiery Soul. Yeah, it's a very powerful hero. With the Aghanim's upgrade, you can always counter an SF with the Requiem of Souls, or with the BKB Requiem of Souls combo. The only thing is, because Yule Scepter is so prominent between these two mid laners, it's always a very funky interaction. How Alina wants to engage on an SF is you want to use the SF and you want to just try to drop your combo. How the SF can counter that is, if he lands facing you, he can use you, or he can use himself and then blink away. So we'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a fun little battle. Also, something else to secure is going to be that bottom rune. That's the one that Resolution's sitting close to, but it's also the one that Havorst wants to try and contest for. Now, the Dire Observer Ward's already been planted in the lane, so it's going to watch Vanskull's aggressive movements down the bottom. But it's kind of difficult for Empire to get this, because you are going up against the lift of a Rubik, which means getting in and out again is very difficult. So they have to let it go, and Resolution's actually moving up to the top rune instead. So Dandy will take the mid.
The battle
Would you believe
begins.
it's not the full build? He likes to change things from the meta. Obviously, it's not the Agi heroes with the Wraith Bands we looked at before, but he went to 3 branches plus the Null Talisman with just only 1 Shed Tango into that Lina. Is that really enough to survive in this mid, though?
Well, the thing is, 2 Tangos are actually not necessary most of the time, depending on the matchup. Like against SF, because Lina's going to be the aggressor, you just need 1 Tango, and 60-second cooldown it's just too long for you to kind of rely your sustain on that.
Actually,
so he's probably going to pull in
SF
regen.
can be the aggressor, man. Not what Gob likes sitting around here. He knows. Well, there's no combo, but actually there is, because he got the 100 rune. 1 more creep goes down, and Dandy has a semi-combo here, which is right now. So, Light Strike Array, but the Fissure. Aloha Dance. Light Strike Array still going to connect. With the Slave, they can tick him down so low. They got him!
Yep.
They actually had enough damage.
Lina is so strong at mid right now. It's super powerful.
Hilarious thing was, it was the illusion to the Shadow Fiend that were like helping to also tank up the tower and do the remaining damage to kill off Resolution. That's what got the last hit.
Well, Lina's her 670 range attack was actually flying as well, so it definitely would have secured the kill. The good thing is Resolution did the smart thing this lane, realized that he was probably not going to be the aggressor, just went for double branch, finished his bottle, and still was able to TP back in lane. I guess a lot of it is due to the bounty rune that he picked up at level 1, but yeah, hopefully going to stabilize things here. Not sure how successful he will be, but again, Earthshaker is at the mid lane, and that helps a lot.
I'm keeping my eyes down to that bottom lane. With the punch on the offlane, Rubik, there's no way he wants to try and battle directly up against him. Also, maybe want to look up towards top lane. 1 more attack and then a waveform. Would it be enough to kill off that Dazzle? But Phobos isn't going to throw away his life to Silent just to get a kill on the support. But Yoki has to run to the trees. He doesn't have boots. All he has is a stout shield and a crap ton of consumables. But he does have an ability to potentially deny himself with the rot. But they catch him out in the tree line. They put the catcher onto Yoki as well. He's going to hook in. Okay, he'll hook Vanscore in, but the Troll Warlord is still going to get the pickup. This is the offlane feeding a large amount of experience over as well, because he was a level 3 Pudge.
Yep. Caught at quite an obscure position, I would say. Hiding in the trees.
Oh, Korea. 6th player of Navi's already been turned around. That's got Dandy's bottle on it. With that haste rune, Dandy gonna miss the stun, which means Resolution just comes underneath the tower. And Dandy can turn the courier around now. Bring that bottle back again. Resolution wasn't going to commit any further than that.
Very nice move of harassment. Unfortunately, if the bottle is full, which it was, it's not going to do too much, and all he kind of lost was his own life points, diving the tower like that and taking like 3 to 4 hits. But he's still going to be able to raise down the wave, so yeah, he has to be careful. Again, the life point difference from the tower kind of hurts him quite a bit.
Yeah, because one last strike array into a slave and he's basically dead. I'm liking the way also that Denny is building into this. He's going a very more God style of doing it. At the same time, though, I've seen God like now just go all points up into Fiery Soul as much as he possibly can, but it's just increasing that physical damage, and that allows him to battle directly against Resolution.
I'm surprised to hear that anybody does anything different. I think this is the standard. You just get the Soul at level 4, and then you max Dragon Slave, and then you max Light Strike Array, I think. Just for the burst potential.
Wait,
Denny being really aggressive.
Nuh-uh.
Well, looks like there's a little bit of trouble for Vanskol. The hook from Yoki's going to drag him back to the other side of the Fidget, but a pick up and a throw back. They're still going to find the kill unless Golp-like. Okay, aggressive defensive, trying to aggressive disruption. Sorry, going on to the Pudge, making sure that Ross not going to stay in range, and Yoki just TP's out. Vorce would need like a first hit bash to make that work, but he's going to go for a low hard dance anyway. He can throw the Fissure out, but a Vorce comes in with the range axes, turns into the melee with the whirling. So the ES is still going to drop, and they did not kill off Vanskol, which was the original objective.
Yeah, man, that looks super funny, but Yoki not having a good time in the offlane right now. This offlane Pudge walking around 285 movement speed, not successful as of yet.
You almost feel like he should move into a support role, but you've got Nurse Shaker and a Dazzle. I don't think you really want to throw them into any kind of support role. Because the other way of doing it with like the level 1 hook is just so long now that you're capable of just actually playing support Pudge if you want it.
Yep. It's very powerful. In the right setup and right lineup. Gobak coming in with an Invis Rune and Resolution, wisely backing with 60 life points. One right click and some sort of spell, he would have died. So.
I love Yoki's position here. he's been inching it for the last maybe 30 seconds, trying to find this little hook where, unfortunately, you can't curve a hook. Like if you could actually have a curve line with the hook, it might be easier. But he's just trying to get around the creeps to grab the Troll Warlord. Denny's going to find his pickup. Slave to start with. Catcher as well. They could potentially disrupt, but it's not really required. So the Liar Strike Array, Denny waited until he got into a choke point to use that. So a kill coming the way of Lina. That's actually Denny's first one of the game, as the SD was the one who took the kill beforehand. And this might be the perfect time as well for Denny to almost play the Lina like a Pudge. Let Phobos have the middle lane for now, and then just start rotating with this Lina.
The thing with that though is there's like very high risk of just throwing, because if this Lina dies once in one of his rotations, he's gonna give so much over to the support and the other people that he's been kind of owning the lane with. Yeah, so yeah, Phobos definitely needs a place to catch up, I would say, and it's probably not top lane, but he's not really doing that bad, honestly. He's level 3, and I know he's kind of underfarmed, doesn't really have much CS, but if you compare him to the other offlaner, Yoki's level 4. Has 3 CS, just hit level 5, and of course Yoki will be more useful early on because Morphling's much more of a better scaling offlaner, if you want to put it that way. But he's not doing too bad.
Could always be worse.
Yeah.
Everything could be worse. Vanskol about to make things worse, a lot worse for Yoki, as well they do open up, but a low hard dance comes in at the right time. Throws down the fissure. Vanskol was also taking up the creep wave, and just the hopeful hook throw from Yoki.
You know, in Dota 1, you used to be able to type -HA and you would see the hook accuracy, and then -AA was arrow accuracy. I wish they implemented that feature honestly.
I've seen one hook connect, and that was with a stationary target because he was locked by the fissure.
Yeah. I really want to see that come back. Valve, if you're listening, please. Volvo, please.
Hey, dude, we've all been wanting to have extended stats now and stat screen beyond the whole. This is the CS, this is the kills. Not even our kills show up correctly because of denies.
Yeah, that's right.
They actually count as kills according to the scoreboard. It's like, wait, what? No. I like being able to look up. The downside about that stat screen with the Warcraft 3 one is it took the entire screen. So you need to actually cast with someone who is watching the game while you were then trying to pick apart the stats. Because you couldn't show up for any longer than 10 seconds or like you'd miss kills here or there.
Come on, Toby, just give it another couple of years. I'm sure they'll find the middle ground.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's wait years. I like years. Not waiting years. I'll wait days. Give me maybe a month.
Well, you know, wait no longer for some pudge action. Yoki's hit level 6. He's ready to dismember somebody.
I'm still very skeptical about the fact of him getting a kill, even with dismember.
Toby, you just have to believe. I'm not sure what else to tell you. Empire Aloha Dance is getting in position. This is a hook right here on the Rubik. Oh, never mind.
He didn't have the vision because the TP came into the tree line. So when the creep wave came down, he had the potential for it. But I got a feeling Yoki, he would have only had like a fraction of a second to react.
Yeah, and you know what? They're bringing the whole pack for this. Resolutions here counting. Not farming the blitz, not pushing out mid lane.
Oh,
he's here for some kills.
Hook accuracy increase. Goes up to 2 now. He didn't have mana for a dismember. That's why he also can't use it. But Golblack and Dandy, they've rotated down. Disruption into Catcher, and with Laguna Blade, this is not going to be a pretty world. Havors does still die, however. Earthshaker's able to get the kill here. Laguna hasn't been thrown yet. Yoki's low enough that with the poison, he should pop from this. But instead, Laguna Blade, the Light Strike Array is well off target. Dandy's not hitting anything at the moment. Aloha Dance is hitting the tower's hitting him down to 46 life points, so he'll back up as well. But that was actually quite successful for Empire. They just took a 2 for 0.
Yeah, you know what? Given the positioning and all things considered with vision and stuff, that fight should have been like a 3-0 for Na'Vi. And as soon as that Light Strike Array missed on the Shadow Demon disruption, Yoki was disruption. And Havos dying, most importantly. I actually don't even know how he died. He must have gotten like double raised with a Fisher or something. But that was super awkward. Wow, I'm so surprised they turned that. Again, just Empire things, you know.
I want to say it's almost Na'Vi things. Because it really felt like that.
Hey, I was trying to avoid it. Come on now.
Well, I'm being a little bit more of a realist in this game tonight, then, because things weren't connecting. It was really that simple. Like you weren't getting the initial pick-off you were searching for. Like, why was the Pudge able to walk himself away? Havors having a battle inside the tree line while your players were walking down. Just a little bit too late after the initiation did come. I don't know, just the timing and positioning doesn't really feel 100% accurate here. And Empire is it's been giving a little bit more leeway.
Oh, I love watching this combo. This Aloha Dance Yoki combo. Always walking around the map, always looking to do stuff.
See, I want to watch this combo. The Golblack as well as Dendy one. The SD as well as the Lina. This is like so easy to find pickoffs until
oh my god,
that happens. Because he has a haste rune. And they didn't get the disruption off in time. All these little things just keep going against Na'Vi.
Yeah, this is really hurting them. Of course, Dendy has never died yet, and he's somewhat close to his Yule Scepter, so things aren't really bad, per se. But again, Resolution, considering his first blood, he shouldn't be able to catch up this well. I mean, SF will always catch up against Lina with stacks, there's no denying that. But things are just going a little bit too well for them, and I think they're going to go into the Roche Pit now. Yeah.
Their Observer Board knows where Havors is, however, and Yoki's going to chase him down. So, yep, there's your fissure into Hook and Dismember. Yoki was too far away. And now Havors turns on the ultimate. He's going to beat him down. So Pudge is going to drop. The SD, he denies himself, but Aloha dances SD blocked onto the sideline. Illusions, someone. Where is the rest of the team? Look for the rest of the team.
Did you see that? Did you see what Yoki did there? He walked into the only blind spot in that situation and started rotting himself to death. Man, that guy is so good at
Roshan has fallen to the Dire.
I love Yoki, dude.
I'm still surprised that no one from Na'Vi checked Roshan.
Yeah, I mean, it would require somewhat of a heightened awareness because, again, like this combo, if you look at just from their vision point of view, the SF could have just very well been farming jungle, and Bristleback could have been ancients. So it's kind of difficult to tell. Again, they're just making a lot of space if you think about it that way. They're dying, but they're giving vision to the team. You know, they're doing their jobs.
Are you liking this top lane Morphling? Do you feel like he's useful?
I mean, he's still at that irrelevant stage. He needs a soul ring, and most of the time he'll need a part way into the Yule Scepter, unless his lane went really well, and that's basically when you gank for him. Speaking of which, it's this game, like, you can't rotate a Shadow Demon and Lina to gank a free farming Bristleback who rushes Vanguard. It's just really difficult. So this might not have been the best setup for a Morphling game. I thought when they picked it, I thought they were going to put it on the safe lane carry with the troll, or put it at mid with the troll. It works well with the battle trance for sure, but yeah, you need to be able to, like, when you use the 4-second stun, you need to have a setup for a guaranteed kill of sorts, whether it's a Magnus or a Pudge that just hooks them into the fight. And so far, you know, they just have all these squishy heroes and a troll warlord.
Lena's got Yule Scepter. Looks to be Yule's into just a little bit more spam, and then Laguna Blade to finish off the Dazzle. The bottom tier 1 towers can be taken out by Silent right now, as Vanskor also narrowly escaped a Fisher stun attempt on him, but he was keeping out the Fog of War, so it would have been a very difficult thing for a Aloha dance to connect on it.
Toby, just look at bottom lane for a second. Does that look right? Like, look at how far he's attacking the tower away from. Is that? That's not mid range.
It's a rock attached to a massive chain. He should have some level of range.
I mean, I understand that, but that was like 300 range attack, like a gyrocopter or something. What just happened there? Did I see that right?
Yeah, that's it. He was standing here, and tower is here.
What? Just what? That's not melee.
Is that like the side blades range? That's actually
almost like honestly, that looked like it was a ranged attack. I'm not sure if that's. I mean, that was kind of awkward. Empire's taking over the enemy jungle again with their trio this time. They said 2 people weren't enough last time, so let's bring the Dazzle along. Maybe he can keep us alive. Looks like there's gonna be a ward going down, and it's a pretty decent ward. They don't have too many ancient clearers, and I guess Troll Warlord just did a little bit of it. I'm assuming, but Empire in position to take the mid tower, and if Navi can respond, they have the right pieces for it in place. They're coming in right now, but they're certainly not in position to hold the tower in perfect.
They're coming in with smoke. They're looking. They're not looking to try and battle up against Empire here. They're looking for a quick pick off on someone who's overcommitting. So Dandy destroys 1 slave. They drop the sentry ward, and yeah, Empire's obviously got the fact. Well, Vanskor too close. Then again, where's that telekinesis? He gets the pickup. Can he actually get the steal as well? He's back out of the tree line with Laguna Blade. They killed the Pudge so quickly. As he disrupts, and they're going to lock a low-art dance in the tree line. And what was stolen, it was only the totem. Not really going to help him. A little bit of extra damage, but it's enough. Dandy is just pounding away over it. Silent now, as well as the SF with the last 2 left alive. Light Strike Array holding Resolution in position, because there's no point trying to just kill off the Bristleback. As he goes for the Major Man, but the Bristleback is just so big. They need to stop him from Quill Spraying, because he's going to take too many heroes with him. Yeah,
I should have mentioned earlier. I think I don't agree with this Aegis choice. Like, when you have a 1-position Bristleback that's obviously too tanky to die to a whole bunch of intel heroes, I feel like the Aegis goes on the SF for sure, or another playmaking hero like the Pudge. I don't know about Silent picking up the Aegis here. I think this is gonna be like all for naught, honestly.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah. If they had Aegis on SF, that fight would have been different.
Yeah, and they would be looking at bringing down a tier 2 tower right now. Or potentially more of the players from Navi.
How unfortunate. The tag team duo in Yoki Aloha Dance is the adventures, or misadventures you would say. Not going quite well at the moment. Oh god.
I love that I can get the chat to do what they're doing.
Look at how these guys just walk behind each other. It's just so cloudy. I can't take this game.
We're going again. We're going again.
Oh gosh. Round 4, here we go, boys.
Aloha Dance is looking for the opening, but Avorst as well as Dendy have smoked up. But the funny thing is, it's not the combo. Because in fact, Avorst will be breaking the smoke here. But Dendy in the trees, if Yoki guesses this, I am just going to like applaud. He's not going to.
This is when you prostrate yourself before the king, man.
Smoke breaks. He came close up to Aloha Dance. He sees him. He needs him, and the Light Strike Array, it connects before the Fisher can, which means Laguna Blade gets a quick pick off. And Yoki's on the wrong side of the tracks.
Yeah, he's probably gonna end up TPing out, unless he wants to get ballsy and just walk out.
Unless they defend it. I don't see a reason why they can't. The Earthshaker might be down, but with a hook, he can't get it. And Phobos with the Adapted Strike, pushing Silent back. They get the Light Strike Array, plus the Slave into the Pudge. So he's down to 400 life points. Quick heal from the Dazzling will come up. Well, and Navi's rotating everybody in.
I mean, that's what you call a disaster right there, I think. I mean, no deaths happened, but neither did anything really.
We're getting a Shadow Blade Lina.
Over the blink?
He's building a Shadow Blade instead. Okay, so there's gonna be a battle here. Rubik is the closest one. Gets a pick up on the Bristleback. Just forcing him to take a little bit more damage from the tower. And Vanskor now hooked in. He gets the Fate Bolt. That's a quick heal scepter over on the Pudge, however. So there's no real straight follow-up. with the slave damage, and Resolution just winds up. Rubik will drop. Morphling not in a great position, but he does have waveform. If only could get out. The Dismember not being used because of the initial Yule Scepter means it was available to go onto the Morphling. So Resolution as the Shadow Fiend takes the double kill.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to put it this way, but this is what happens usually when you pick like 3 intel heroes into 3 strength heroes. Strength heroes most of the time they just outscale you because they have better spells that cost it's not exactly more mana, but not so much mana dependent. Like Lina, the way you have to combo is you have to use all 3 spells, and to pick a Shadow Demon, which kind of to apply it to synergize with Lina is kind of counterproductive, because Lina picks up a Yule Scepter, which is basically a Shadow Demon right there in terms of initiation. And then Troll Warlord too, it's like Bristleback is one of the hardest counters to troll in the game, because when Troll starts going on you, you just turn your back and start running away until the duration of the BKB or the battle trance is over, and then you turn on him and he just kind of dies. So yeah, I'll say this game so far, even though Empire is behind on kills, they're gonna be in a dominant position so long as this Yoki and Aloha Dance duo constantly make space around them.
I swear, man, you have more love for them than you did for the MLG team for the first season with RTC. Silence in a little bit of trouble. Denny with Laguna Blade. It's not enough damage to get the kill, but they're pumping out a hell of a lot. With the haste rune over on Dendy. He's moving quickly back and forward, and they want to go for more. Aloha Dance, they need the Line Strike Array in order to kill him off, but with Yoki hanging around the corner, there's the Etsy with the disruption going on Resolution. The hook's well off target by Yoki. We split ourselves so far up. Horse is battling from the low ground inside the river, but with that catcher over on Resolution, Slaven as well, he's going to drop down. Yoki goes to the Dismember, pushed back by the Adaptive Strike. Such a huge stun duration from that Morphling. He's going to hook it as well. He gets the rod. He's there as well, he pick up the kill. He'll deny himself as well because you can't get the kill in when the Shallow Grave's wearing off and you've already got Rot turned on. So it's a guaranteed denial. Vengeful now also to add more Chaos Smash, steal the hook somewhere during that engagement. But Empire back up with Silent as well as Aloha Dance on low life.
Yeah, this game's a little bit getting into that too clowny area. So first of all, Resolution actually had BKB and Yule Scepter up when he died. He chose to cast neither. Yeah, would have changed the course of the fight. I mean, he was relatively low, so BKB might not have been an option, but if he cast the Yule Scepters a little bit earlier, he would have had enough time to buffer up with the BKB, because there wasn't too much physical damage coming out of Na'Vi. I think Troll Warlord was off doing something else or chasing somebody else.
He might have been worried though if he used the Yule Scepter, it would have just been a straight light strike array.
If he has BKB, no.
Ah, true, because he just hit the deck and then hit the BKB. Yeah,
exactly. So he had that, and of course Dazzle, I'm sure if he was there he would have been able to grave and delay his death as well, which would have allowed him to dish out a fair bit of damage, possibly get his ultimate off. The other thing is, yeah, the Rot and taking Havos's life with him, with the grave. It's not something that should be happening in general, but they didn't really have vision of it and it was just a hectic team fight, so it's somewhat understandable. Yoki's first hook was a field goal, and it seems to be the case most instances of this game, where he's just shooting a hook right between 2 targets. I don't know, it's quite the interesting game so far. I would say somewhat sloppy, to be quite frank, but all in all, it's quite an entertaining game, and I think both teams are kind of waiting for the next Rosh. Empire more so because they're on the dire side and they have the Bristleback and the Shadow Fiend, which allows them to have incredible Roshan potential, although Na'Vi can fight it with the Troll Warlord. Yeah, and they're getting vision of the enemy woods, now trying to take it over. Of course, Na'Vi do scout out enemy heroes rotating into their woods, and I think they're going to proceed to just take the Empire's woods as well. I think Avos is just going to farm this and probably TP back depending on the situation, but we'll see what the follow-up is as Roshan spawns.
Yep, and already they're moving over. Dandy's in front, Shadow Blade's up. Where's those sentry wards? There's one on the high ground. Back over on the dire side of the river. And in fact, Empire, they're not doing this. The Rubik as a pickup, that's a Yule Scepter into a hook, into a not dismember, because they're realizing that it's not a real thing. It was the replicate of the Rubik. But also look at Vengeful's position.
Oh, so close, so close.
If he gets that pickup, it's even better than the Dismember. Because you get the telekinesis, you're not going to get interrupted halfway through it.
Yeah, exactly. It's very smooth as well because you don't have cast points to worry about as Rubik most of the time. But I do want to mention, Yule Scepter into Pudge Hook is a thing. And you know how Axe kind of got nerfed, or rather I want to say fixed, because you used to be able to Yules with Axe and then just call them while they're in the air, which was really stupid because there was no counterplay to it. Hook is something very similar. With 1300 range, of course, Yule Scepter is much closer to cast. It's really about 700 or 850 if they're running away and you get the click on them. But you can hook them while they're Yules. And for me, that's kind of silly because the amount of disables you can follow up with that, whether it's just a Dismember, which is kind of risky because, again, Dismember is not instant in Dota 2, or Earthshaker Fissures, it doesn't really offer counterplay.
Roshan has fallen to the
And Resolution finally takes the Aegis. It's great. Great to see.
I'm not quite sure about this from Avos though. He's going to get fissured, hooked back, and brought down pretty quickly. Nice fissure! Really, really nice fissure. Coming into the middle of all of Team Empire. They tried some fault with the Purge as well, but it looks like it's going to be a 2-for-1 trap at the moment. The Yule Scepter up and towards the air, so Vance goes the instant deck will also drop. Phobos able to dodge the hook. He is made of water, so I'm surprised the hook is even able to grab him. But it's 17-19 on the board now. As Team Empire do get a couple of pickoffs. I'm so surprised the entire time Roshan was being done. Avos was farming up the camp. Like he was farming up this camp just next to Roshan. Wasn't looking to fight, was around the tree line, so he couldn't just jump in straight away. Just wanted money.
Yeah, not sure. I didn't really understand Navi's plan there. It looked like 4 heroes were ready to fight the whole time. They didn't really have smokes or the gold signal that they wanted to give each other, and as you said, Hovos was just farming up the camps. I think they were preparing for Roshan more than anything. I think they thought that Empire wasn't in there. They were smoked and like looping around or something. But Empire killed that really, really quickly, and now they're gonna kill the tier 2 tower really quickly.
I think Vansco's gonna try and stop him. With a Fade Bolt to start with, and then a Vorse running in. There's a TP coming into the hook. It's gonna fly, and as she grabs the TP in Denny. The Yule Scepter goes up on top of the punch. Denny, Fissure, gonna connect on him. He's got a Shadow Blade, so he's out of range of the Echo Slam. Echo Slam stolen here by Rubik. Might try and return it as Silent jumps in even deeper. Denny has to move away. He's got three quill stacks on top of him, so he has to wait for this to dissipate.
I've also on the wrong side of the team fight.
Wait, what? Why is he over here?
You know the funniest thing about that is Dendy was the one that got hooked, and he somehow made it back to his team even though he got fissured while being in Biz. And Host, I think he manned up on the Shadow Fiend, just right clicking down for the Aegis, and then after like 5 seconds after the respawn, you see him totally on the right side. Like, what happened? Where'd you go, buddy?
I think Host just was abandoned. Aloha Dentist Deb. Yule Scepter and
oh, Yoki, if he can land the hook.
He's going to, oh, where's Laguna? Just Laguna. He's not gonna survive this. And the adaptive strike is such a bitch. What a great setup as well. When you think about it with the adaptive strike, how many seconds you have for the control timer?
Yeah, it's crazy.
You've got Denny who's gonna get 100% light strike array every time he moves with the Morphling.
Yeah, honestly, it's just the amount of setup they have with Shadow Demon and Morphling, the amount of buffer timers and potential like fight delayers is crazy. Again, this hero, you build Yule Scepter so you can move faster and have an extra, like, pretty much a Shadow Demon disruption whenever you want it. You have unlimited mana because you have Soul Ring and Tranquils, which gives you also the HP.
Denny just soloed Resolution.
Soloed Empire Resolution, yep.
It's just, it's surprise. That more
you know what? I guess that's the nice thing about the Shadow Blade before the blink, eh? Because their cores will never have gem, or at least the cores that are not Pudge. So Resolution will never have an opportunity to either blink or Yules or BKB. Yeah. Because if Denny just light strike arrays from the Shadow Blade, you're not going to be able to see it.
Because there's no like he doesn't break his Invis until the very last second before it gets cast. Yeah. You're going to get this Shallow Grave up for Dazzle. He's going to trigger the Weave. There's support around him, but Yoki was considering the hook, but once the poison was on top of him, he realized there was no way that Always Wanna Fly was going to survive.
Now this is starting to look like a turnaround for Na'Vi, but again, they still don't have a solution for the Bristleback, who is the biggest hero in the enemy team. And of course, with 4 or 5 heroes, you can always kite this hero, especially with the number of disables they have. But the BKB is about to be introduced in its first fight. Very soon.
Middle lane, Invis Rune. Phobos gets the first one over on the Earthshaker. Dismember will start. There is a telekinesis pickup over on the Earthshaker into the Fissure, means the Rubik will be going down. He bought his Blink Dagger a fraction of a second before death, however, and Phobos, he already had the Replica. That was the one which Bristleback was trying to kill off before on the bottom lane, but he was literally hitting himself. So no way he was going to pick that one off, and Denny's back in again. With an Aghanim Scepter, Laguna Blade, he doesn't even need to use the Light Strike Array. Use the Yule Scepter means he won't get fissured. SC Disruption buys space as well, and Silent, he's locked in the corner again.
He's stuck!
This is the second time Goblike's managed to do that. He did it before around the bottom rune, and now he does it in the mid, just on the edge. It's such a narrow point as well to do it, but he got it perfect.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, and that first BKB had absolutely zero impact. Holy smokes. Navi are doing all the things right to get back into this game. It's weird to say it that way too, because they're 10 kills ahead. But if you look at the powers,
wind her up. That damage onto the Troll Warlord's not enough to kill him off, and now it will be. Initially, though, it wasn't. He actually needed help to get that kill with a level 3 Requiem of Souls up against a Troll who's only got Manta and an Ogre Club, really. And Denny's coming in for more kills. There's no gem. There's the Ori jump back. Aloha Dance blinks as well, but Phobos jumps in. He wants to strike over on Resolution, and look how fast Rubik just jumping in the middle of the engagement as well. He'll drop because of it with the SF Death ulti. Yoki also trying to ensure a kill, but they'll be made to work for it. So Gold Black, he knew they were.
They're chasing.
They're not catching him.
There's no way they get anything here. Come on.
Like Phobos jumped out to a replicate in the middle lane, and he's massively like scared. He TP'd out that mid as quick as he possibly could.
Yep,
and Dendi with Shadowblade, they can't catch him because they don't have like they got the gem over on the Bristleback, but he's not been involved in any of these engagements that Na'Vi have looked for. In fact, I think Na'Vi are purposely going to the other side of the map away from the Bristleback to ensure these fights.
I mean, it almost sounds like they're all going away from Phobos too. I mean, the way he got picked off at top there, that was, I don't know. I'm not even sure if that kill that he gone for would have been worth it, even if he got out. It's just Na'Vi, again, as I was saying before the engagement, they're doing all the right things to get back into this game, and then Phobos has to go and ruin it. Oh dear.
Give him time.
Yep.
He'll have his BKB, and then those kind of moves are gonna be okay.
Honestly, I don't actually understand the Manta pick of this game. I mean, is he trying to disjoint some of the clicks, like dismember, or
he might be trying to avoid the Pudge hook when it comes in, so put a copy in front of it maybe. It doesn't break quills, does it? Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
I'm actually not sure about that, but I'm not sure if that's what he should be worried about. I feel like the most important thing to avoid this game is either the Yule Scepters, or just disables in general from the Earthshaker, or Dazzle being able to. I mean, I guess Dazzle doesn't do too much. But,
Aloha Dance. Phobos is walking in. Aloha Dance to get the initial stun. Follow up Fisher. There is a replica to jump out to, so they need to get the Dismember as well. But at the same time, there's 2.4k to get through, but they're going to do so. Dendi, wow, they're turning. Disruption. Silent just triggers the BKB. The Purge will slow him down a hell of a lot. And I think Goldblack knows he's dead. What's been stolen? We've actually managed to steal what? Requiem of Souls? Wind her up, Vanscore, and just let it rip. The amount of damage he deals. Silent's still going to take a double kill, however, as Goldblack was in range before. So, Empire, they take some damage for it, but they still take 3 for 0.
Yeah, man. They used 3 ultimates for that Offlane Morphling, and they still came out on top. Again, these support duels like Rubik and Shadow Demon, it's... Actually, I haven't really talked about this, but there are some support combos that you should never really pick in competitive. Some are like Vengeful Spirit and ES, which are top tier supports in the meta, but you still never pick them together because they're 2 defensive combos that like don't allow you to scale well to take over the enemy map at one point. Rubik and Shadow Demon are kind of similar too. You don't really pick them together because they're both very defensive. But yeah, the Earthshaker stun shuts them down on the aggression, potential aggression, and Dendi's going straight BKB, what I imagine to be, with the Ogre up there.
Yeah, she got the stun. So Silent slowed down, and Phobos is moving in front because he's got the Yule Scepter. How long is he just going to hold him there? Body block has to happen so Dendi can do, well, firstly that, and now a secondary adaptive strike. How long is this?
Oh
the Light Striker Ray Silent, he gets the BKB off, but the physical damage, he's not. He really isn't. Oh, he dragged a Force up, which means now he's in range to kill off Silent. Kill him! They're not doing it! A Force though turns on a Resolution. A quick race. They're able to get the pick off on him. The Yule Scepter buying time as well, morphling up into the air. With Silent, Vanscore on the tail of him, Fade Bolt, something. They can't actually kill him. They'll find always want to fly instead, so it becomes a Troll Warlord for a Dazzle trade-off. The Morphling is right behind the Pudge, however, and Pudge knows it because it's himself. So Phobos jumps in. He doesn't have mana, however, for a stun. He'll get hooked in, and Yoki doesn't want a bar of this. The Ghost Scepter will protect Phobos so he can walk back from the tower.
I mean, what can I... Toby, he lived, man. He survived that. There's not much else to be said. He actually survived that. This Empire team, this Yoki guy, this Aloha Dance, they're crazy.
They're
crazy. I don't know. They're just crazy, man.
It's I'm seriously not fully understanding the fights as well. Like when Yoki decides to drag the Troll Warlord up, and you can see the Brustleback was so low. He can't have known that the Brustleback would even survive that. Like all it would take is one melee whirling axis, and he was dead. Even I think a range whirling axis and Silent was going to drop.
Yoki more like YOLO. Am I right or am I right?
You might be right. You could potentially be wrong as well.
Thank you, thank you.
I've also got a tweet before. Some very nice person was trying to improve what you know, but it's meant to be pronounced Yoku.
Oh, is that right?
The chat can correct me if I'm wrong, but well, at least if this guy on Twitter is wrong, and I've been wrong the entire time. But yeah, you can correct me, but I believe it's actually Yoku, not Yoki. That's how it's meant to be pronounced in Russian.
I see what they're trying to do here. Alright, I mean, I can respect it. I can get behind that. Yoku. You know what? Never mind. No, I like Yoki better. I think Yoki sounds better.
Yoki does sound kind of cool, but it sounds like the bear.
Yeah. Yoki,
like we have ourselves a picnic basket. Well,
I mean, he's carrying the team like Goku. I mean, you know, you can be Yoku if you want, but I mean, why not Yoki?
That's not Goku, man. That's not Goku. If that's what you were thinking right now.
It's a shame. It's a shame.
By the way, BKB is finally done now for Revorce, so there's only the Dismember, which is going to cause him, well, and the physical damage coming out from the SF as well as the Bristleback. They'll cause him problems during the team fight, but everything else will be okay with.
Yeah, given how they played earlier, you know, with an Aloha Dance Fisher and a Yoku hook, it'll go alright, I think.
BKB is also fully done for the Lina. So Denny's also capable of freely moving around during these fights. I still can't believe the control time this Morphling provides. Between the Eul Scepter and the Adaptive Strike, the Eul Scepter buys him enough time that his Adaptive Strike comes off cooldown. Because the initial stun lasts so long from the Adaptive Strike that he kind of takes it already on a half cooldown anyway. It's nice little steal from Rubik too. He's got Shadow Wave, keeping the rest of his team alive when they keep getting hooked in.
Yeah, they're trying to counter push top as a reaction, but like I've seen these Offlane Morphlings a few times. I wonder why they don't go for a Blade Mail. All they do is go in and soak damage.
Long Adaptive Strike on Silent. I don't know about it, man. It just seems better to get your control items first, by which point it's like 30 minutes in and do you really want to be picking up a Blade Mail? It seems to be a little bit too late.
I think it's pretty good this game. Earthshaker, Pudge, these heroes will end up just killing themselves.
And
the hook!
Nice fissure, but the Disruption is still able to go off. So Goldblack comes out, and then the hook stolen by Vanskor, dragging Yoki in range of the tier 4 towers. He is, however, being Shelter Graved up. The Eul Scepter as well, sending him up and towards the air, and he'll hit the ground straight away. So there's no way for him just to rot himself down. I think there's actually a defensive Eul Scepter to make sure he couldn't do exactly that. Resolution, winding up the ulti. Vanskor blown into a million different little pieces. But it's still a 2 for, well, what trade-off? We had a buyback come out from the Pudge, and he's walking back to the mid right now, but you got a buyback on only Morphling for Na'Vi. As the mid-ranks will get beaten down. They can slow it down, remember, Adaptive Strike and Eul Scepters. Not the easiest thing to pump in the damage. There goes Silent, just push back. But there's too many heroes here now. He can't stay in close enough to do that again. They have to accept the fact that mid is gone.
Yep, and that buyback serving little to no purpose, but it is Yoki. It is Yoku. Doing his thing. Doing Emperor things. Yeah, why did he buy back there? I don't understand.
I don't know why either. It doesn't make any sense because
he actually just popped back, TP to the closest tower, and just walked all the way with his triangle boots.
you were gonna take the mid ranks anyway. They had more than enough power. They didn't need to have the Pudge there. Maybe they were just worried that Na'Vi had buybacks and having him on the front lines would help. They may not have realized that Na'Vi did not because they bought both of the BKBs, so both the Forced and Dendi couldn't come back to the world of living.
Yeah, yeah, it's certainly a possibility. I mean, if he wanted to reinforce the push, he needed some more presence, like maybe a boot to travel. Given what he did, by the time he arrived to the base, the Raxes were dead. They were walking out. We're like, oh, Yoki, good to see you. You know, we're done here. Let's get out. He's just like, all right.
We got ourselves a split push going again. Denny's going to intercept the creep wave at the moment and take it out. They're trying to make Empire go into some level of a trade. Vanskor being harassed down by Silent has to throw him backwards. There's no other choice, but with 2 points of nasal goo on him, Okay, he bought time for a blink. That's his saving grace. But Empire's not going to stop. They're going to take bottom racks now. You got Cheese on the Shadow Fiend with a fresh Scardy as well. And you got Silent with the Aegis Immortal. Trying to get over aggressive, up to the high ground, and just beat the crap out of everything. He wants to soak up abilities. He wants Dendy to try and Laguna Blade him and kill him off, because then he just gets the Aegis Immortal triggered. What's that stolen by Vanskor? He stole Weave.
Nice steal of Weave.
That's big.
Yeah, that's really good.
Especially with the Force, but he's attacking him before the Weave's had time to have any level of effect. Triggers his BKB. There's your first on over on Silent. So this BKB, Havorce, what are you doing up here? Why is he still here? Manastar's going to pop. Vanskor with a pickup, throw him back down again. Havorce is already dead. No buyback is available. He's short by 150 gold. And they've lost the Shadow Demon as well. Requiem of Soul stolen again by Vanskor. So he has something to play with, but a low hard dance jumps in on top of Dendy. They need to get this guy out.
Oh, they got him!
The hook was perfect from Yoki. Dendy will buy back into the game. They cannot allow this bottom ranks to go down, or else this game is fully over. I don't know how they're meant to try and hold this. Like, even with Rubik, he's got a level 3 Requiem of Souls, which is fantastic damage. Okay, maybe that's what they waited for. The Aegis Immortal is now gone from the bristleback. So they've got a way to fight him. The hook shot though, in with the Eul Scepter Phobos. Now defensive Eul Scepter. Waveform tries to, but low art dance controls it beautifully. You do have Denny throwing out that ultimate of his, but Resolution had the cheese. Vanskor, Requiem. It does a little bit of damage to always on a fly, but not enough to really pick up the kill. And Vanskor just tries to TP out because there's no more stuns available in front of him. And Yoki battling underneath basically the fountain. He's going to drop bomb down, leaving the gem behind. The milling ranks is still up. They need to hold this at least, but it's not possible. Resolution's beating the crap out of it. A low art dance will probably die, but the Shallow Grave's going to keep him alive a little bit longer, with Forstaff giving himself the distance to get away. Phobos accidentally, I don't think he meant to Eul Scepter himself then, and Silent going YOLO. He's in, he's going to TP, the damage, the bash from a Force. You knew one was going to connect. They Eul's him up as well, and Silent dies inside the Radiant base.
Show's up for me.
But Empire do take bottom rack, so they're fine.
Oh dear, they're in trouble. Yoki has no longer has buyback.
Sorry, I don't think the humor or the sarcasm level was coded well enough into that phrase there. But
I apologize. I mean, what can I say?
Even I took you serious for a second.
Oh dear, this has been quite the game.
Yeah. It's kind of been a weird comedy of errors, however, because I'm still trying to understand what was going through Havorce's mind when he was out there, because he triggers the BKB while being outside the base. Now, the second that happened, you kind of realize you got baited into a bad position. You're not going to get a kill from it. You trigger your BKB, but instead of getting away from the initiation range of Team Empire, he thought, you know what, I got 10 seconds of immunity. I'll just stay on the front lines and attack the wave. Now, that would be fine if you're up on the high ground and in range of the rest of your team, but he wasn't. So it ended up forcing Na'Vi to take this fight outside of their base.
So we're like 7-8 months past the previous TI, and here you are trying to question like what Havorce's mentality or mindset is about.
I'm not trying to question. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to comprehend.
Yeah,
because I don't want to sit here and go, I've lost, douche. What I want to sit here and go is like, Havorce, maybe next level. Maybe next level. Maybe level beyond next level, which people haven't gotten to. The patch where it doesn't support yet. Maybe that's where he's sitting at.
Well,
it was like trying to understand what Sing Sing did yesterday. Because I didn't understand it when I saw it. He was just doppelganging himself and went into the Radiant base past tier 2s, tier 3s, tier 4 towers and got killed. And the reason why he did it, and for most people know this because my tweet about it ended up over on Reddit. But the reason why he did it is because he thought there was 5 men smoking him. So he thought, I gotta get so far away that I can just TP myself out. So he's using the doppelganger as a semi-blink to run away. Like, that was the reason why he did that. I'm just trying to understand the logic behind Havorce. Apart from the number 4, which does not explain the meaning of life.
I mean, anybody who's watched this guy for the years that he's played, you know this. He just wants to go, go, go. It's the definition of a Russian Dota, right? He just wants to fight, fight, fight. And he's a tremendous carry on the safe lane. He's great at farming, great at controlling the lane, and great killer instinct. But lately, he just... it seems like he's almost on full tilt mode. I'm not even sure if tilting is a thing for Hobos, but he just keeps going, like he just doesn't stop. He's just one of those warlocks in your matchmaking game. When they get mad, they just start running down mid all the way to the enemy fountain. Hobos just does it in 3 different lanes instead of 1. Oh dear.
5-man smoke by Empire. Na'Vi were grouping up, like they just wanted to see if Empire would fight them in the mid-river and go for this one last big play. That's why they blinked the Morphling him, so we could try and get the adaptive strike on. Now, I'm looking up right at the moment, and Phobos, he's got 2.5k gold, but he has no buyback. It is not available for him right now. The only person who can buy back is, hilariously enough, a Vorst. So they can push out through the mid. Empire with the 5-man smoke is just going to go the full flank.
Oh my gosh.
They're coming from behind. And Yoki looks for the hook. Where is it? Vanscott not going to find it. Couriers will end up be dying. The hook, he misses it. There's even the fish to hold him there. The sudden resolution, that's really long. They force stuff him down further. Laguna Blade was the first thing that did the damage. They're dropping him low and a force of the BKB. Try and chase after resolution. He's got blinkers on. He only wants to go for resolution. He wants to walk past what? Yoki as well as Aloha dance. Maybe he can do it, but the rest of the team, Lena Killed always want to find in the meantime. And of course, he battles 1v3. Phobos will now come in too. The Yule Scepter will send him up, but that allows resolution to swing, but no ding. He had to actually stop it. At the very last moment, Havos back into the fight, bashing over on resolution. The stump from the Fisher slowing him down, so he does die. That's a dieback from Havos. A double kill for resolution. Yoki going deep right now into Na'Vi. But he just blinks himself away from the Lion Strike Array, which was way too late from Dendi. And without Havos there, and Empire with the momentum they've got, like Resolution can walk to the Radiant base right now and pick up his butterfly. And there's nothing that can really be done about it. But he'll move up, stick with the rest of the team, and they're going to go for top racks. Dendi, Adaptive Strike, Light Strike Array's off target, but he's got enough physical damage, but then the bash! Silent actually managed to proc 1 bash, which stopped Dendi from finishing the combination. Avos will call the GG. And game number 2 will go the way here of Team Empire. And Navi's night's not over yet. They're going up against Hellraisers next. That's our second series from the D2CL. But Clairvoyance, if you could summarize this wonderful, spectacular showmanship of Dota in just 3 words, what would those 3 words be?
Yoki's a beast.
I like those 3 words. I like those 3 words. He played nicely, he drafted nicely. He didn't actually play that well in this game.
To be completely frank, I think like Navi again, they had 3 intel heroes. They didn't have enough sustained damage for the Bristleback, and you would imagine the Troll can kind of make up for the lack of physical damage. But Troll Warlord gets hard countered by Bristle. Again, all Bristle does is just turns his back on the Troll and says haha during the duration of the BKB, and it's pretty much what happened. Empire just kept throwing heroes at them. Even with a 10 kill deficit, they ended up taking all the buildings and towers because Navi just didn't have enough firepower. And again, Yoki, that boy, a beast. I hope this guy carries this Empire team all the way through TI. I really want them to succeed this year because every year they get into the International and they crumble in the group stages. But this year, CIS, I have hope. And Yoki, I believe.
Let's see how they go when we reach TI. It's still a fair few months away, but I agree that Team Empire should be a direct invite. No doubt about it whatsoever. We're going to go to a break. We'll be back in a couple of moments' time. Stay tuned for the matches right here. Of course, if you want to as well, we do have another Twitch live stream going off for Join Dota tonight. The Join Dota ESL live stream where Team Tinker is playing up against Elysium. The game is literally starting right now. So go check that one out. Mon Capitalis is casting that with Ryu, so you can join the 2 of them for that one. If you're wondering who is actually in Team Tinker, Way Too Sexy, Bulba, Koifa, as well as Black, Return from VG Gaming, is playing in Team Tinker. The 5th player, I do not know, but you can find out if you tune into that live stream as well. But stay here if you also want to, as Na'Vi will be going up against Hellraisers after this short break.